Today on our 2018 Ram 1500, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the CURT Class 5 Custom Fit Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number C15572. So here's what our hitch looks like once we have it installed. Now we are going to be able to see that cross tube just right below the bumper, but it's going to hide nicely because it has that flat black powder coat finish on it, so it's just going to kind of blend in. Mainly what we're going to see is that receiver tube sticking out, and it is a class 5, which means it's going to give us that 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube opening, and as you can see, it's got that nice reinforced collar, giving it added strength and just an overall finished look. Now the way we're going to attach all of our accessories is going to be through this pinhole here, and that's going to accept a standard 5/8 pin and clip. Now they're not included, but you can pick one up on our website using part number PC3. The safety chain connection points are going to be a plate style, welded directly to the bottom of our cross tube and receiver tube here, and the loops are going to be rather large, so we're going to have plenty of room to get most size hooks on or off. Just want to keep in mind, if you are using a locking device, you may have a little bit of trouble depending on the angle because they are directly in front of that pin. As far as the weight's concerned, this is a class 5, so it's going to give us a lot of weight capacity. We're going to have 1,500 pounds of tongue weight, along with 15,000 pounds of gross trailer weight rating. And it is designed to work with weight distribution systems. It's going to bump that tongue weight up to 1,600 pounds, and the gross trailer weight all the way up to 16,000 pounds. With that in mind, I do recommend that you double check the owner's manual to make sure that you don't exceed the manufacturer's recommended weight. I'd like to give you a few measurements that will help you when deciding for accessories for your new hitch, such as a ball mount, bike rack, or even a cargo carrier. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the outermost edge of the bumper, it's going to be right about 2.5 inches. Now from the ground to the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening, it's going to be about 20.5 inches. Now that we've seen what our hitch looks like and gone over some of the features, let's show you how to get it installed. To begin our installation, we're going to come to our back bumper, and we're going to have our bumper support here. And if we move towards the front of our truck, we're going to have one bolt that we're going to have to remove out of that bumper support. I'm going to be using a 21mm socket to pull it out. We're going to want to hold on to this bolt because we are going to be reusing it, and we'll remove the other one on the other side as well. Now if we move forward just a bit, we're going to have a rather large hole in the bottom of our frame rail here. You're going to want to grab your fish wire, and we're going to take the smaller of the two spacer blocks, and we're going to slide that right over the coiled end, and then we're going to take our carriage bolt and we're going to thread it onto the coiled end. Now to get our hardware in place, we're going to be doing what's called the reverse fish wire. So you're going to take your bolt, you're going to push it up into the frame, and then separately you're going to push that spacer block into the frame, and you're going to pull it down. Now, since they only provide us with 2 pull wires in our kit, you're going to want to remove the pull wire, but you're going to want to unthread it so it doesn't damage the coiled end on here. And we're going to do that for the other side as well. We come to the very back of our vehicle where our bumper support is, right behind our license plate. We're going to notice that we're going to have 2 oblong holes that are in our bumper support. And we're going to take that same fish wire and we're going to put it in the oblong hole, and on the passenger side we're going to push it towards the passenger side so that it comes out at the end of the frame rail there. Now you want to make sure that you leave a little bit coming out of that oblong hole, but you can still access the coiled end. Now we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to take the large spacer block this time. We're going to slide it over the coiled end. We're going to take another one of our carriage bolts and thread it on. Then we're going to take them and we're going to push them into the bumper support. And we're going to pull them towards the center to where they come out of the bumper support here and the bolt sticks out. Now, I am going to just leave the fish wire attached to this one and just push it back in to the bumper support so that we can actually get our hitch in place. Now we're going to have another one that we're going to have to fish wire into place on that other hole. With an extra set of hands, we're going to put our hitch into position. And you're gonna wanna take your fish wire coming from the back, going towards the front of the truck. We're gonna lift it up. And that bolt coming down from the frame is going to go through the middle hole in the side of the hitch. We're going to take our existing hardware and we're going to thread it back into the frame. Just want to make sure that you get it in far enough so that it can support the hitch, and then we can work on getting the rest of the hardware in place. Now in the back where our license plate area is, we can go and grab those pull wires and we can pull the bolts out. Now again, you're going to want to remove the pull wire and being careful not to push the bolt or let it fall back into the frame rail there. So once you almost have the pull wire removed, it's always a good idea to go ahead and put your finger on it so it can't fall out. And we're going to take our 1/2-inch flange nuts and we'll thread them into place and secure it down. And we'll do that for the other one as well. And for the bolts coming down through our frame, we're going to take another one of our flange nuts and we're going to secure it to the hitch. Now you want to be careful when you're putting these on. You don't want to push too much so that bolt goes back in the frame. And we'll do that for the other one on the other side as well. I'm going to come back with a 3/4 inch socket and I'm going to tighten down all my 1/2-inch hardware. And with that 21mm socket, I'm going to tighten up my factory M14 hardware. I'm going to come back with that 21mm socket and I'm going to torque my factory M14 bolts down to the specified amount in the instructions. Now with a 3/4 inch socket, I'm going to come back and I'm going to torque down my 1/2-inch hardware to the amount specified in the instructions. And we're going to repeat that for all of our remaining hardware. With all of our bolts torqued down, it'll finish up the installation. All we have to do is put our spare tire back. That'll finish up your look at the CURT Class 5 Custom Fit Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number C15572 on our 2018 Ram 1500.